program. One of the most worrying human problems of the past decade concerns the hundreds of thousands of refugees fleeing their homes in Indochina. The war in Vietnam, Pol Pot's attempt to kill off all possible opposition in Kampuchea, and his supporters' subsequent fight with the Heng Samrin regime in that country have all ensured that the flood of refugees into neighbouring Thailand continues unabated. Adelia Bernard is chairman of the Administrative Committee for Aid to Indo-Chinese Refugees, and as such she's regarded as one of the leading experts on their problems. She's back in Australia for a visit and joins us now in our Melbourne studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
Adelia, from what you've seen and heard during your frequent visits to Cambodia and Laos, what, from your point of view, is going on?
Where the refugees are losing their life at an increasing rate. The major killers would be the Vietnamese at the moment, and they use various methods, including chemical warfare. And then sickness, malaria, is the second highest killer, TB, neonatal tetanus. We lose in some areas about 50% of the children, and malnutrition, and where we're lucky, undernutrition.
Now, you mentioned chemical warfare.
Yes.
From what you understand, from what you've seen, how extensive is its use?
Extensive. In most areas in the country, villages are subjected to chemical warfare, and of course the border areas with Thailand, where the refugees come and seek shelter, and where they settle, and we are looking after something like 23 villages on the Kampuchean border, and about 9 or 10 shifting nomadic type of group of people, reaching about 300,000 Laotian refugees on the border.
Many Western diplomats simply won't accept claims that chemical warfare is being employed. Now, you've seen the results of its use firsthand. What do you say to them?
I say to them, when I speak to them directly, they don't deny to me. I guess it's an issue which has been polarized on establishing where the chemicals are being manufactured and where the derivation is. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as the people who are dying from it are concerned, it's irrelevant where the chemicals come from. The fact remains that the Vietnamese are using them on the defenseless populations.
Why do you think it is that the Western world, or at least part of it, is closing its eyes to what's going on?
I guess this is something, if you trace chemical warfare's usages through its history, you will find that that is something that has happened right along. I don't know, maybe the military chiefs are reluctant to admit that, yes, this is a form of warfare which is available to most nations today, and is used perhaps secretly. I guess poisoning and gassing people has a connotation of inhumanity, which not many people like to admit to.
Now, you have said, let me quote, "The breaches of human rights are so enormous as to class us in the same light as Germany's population when gassing and wholesale slaughter was going on."
Yes.
That's an extreme accusation.
Early January up to middle January, Nong Chan was one of our villages which was attacked and overrun by the Vietnamese. It was being attacked with chemicals for 2 months beforehand. For instance, the first facility which went up in smoke from the attack of the Vietnamese in the refugee camp was the ICRC, the International Red Cross Hospital. The populations were running hither and thither everywhere, sheltering in the anti-tank ditches of the Thai border. These things were happening. We were all around them. We were watching it. And, well, you know, I leave the judgment to you and the people here.
Adelia, it's against this background that our new Australian Labor government is said to be considering the resumption of aid to Vietnam. Now, how do you feel about that?
When you talk about the populations in Vietnam, the public, they are hungry and they need help. I would consider it immoral to aid a government which is spending $6 million a day to maintain its occupation of Kampuchea. Now, when that government comes up and asks for aid of any kind, I think governments should sit up and consider very seriously first.
Adelia Bernard in Melbourne, thank you for talking to us this morning.